Welcome to Afghanews with Mohsen Jamal. Vice President Muhammad Karim Khalili and Interior Minister Bismillah Muhammad escaped unhurt after a rocket attack targeted a police center in central Afghanistan on Wednesday, officials said. Provincial spokesman Shahidullah Shahid said the attack happened in the Chaki Wardak district of Wardak province, restive area west of Kabul. Deputy Interior Ministry spokesman Najib Niksat added that one mortar rocket fired by the enemies of Afghanistan landed where the Interior Minister, second Vice President and provincial officials had gathered to inaugurate the new police training center. The Taliban claimed responsibility for the attack. This comes as 7 people, including 5 civilians, were killed and 7 others injured when a suicide car bomb went off in the northeastern Kapisa province on Wednesday, the Interior Ministry said. A statement issued by the Interior Ministry said that a suicide bomber blew his explosive-laden car in Koratas areas in the provincial capital Mahmud Raqi at around 10 a.m. local time, and as a result, 5 civilians and 2 policemen were killed and 7 others, including 6 civilians and a policeman, were injured. As the suicide bomber on a car had the intention of attacking the provincial education department, where a meeting was underway attended by the provincial officials. Meanwhile, Taliban spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid said it had carried out the attack, which he claimed had targeted the French ambassador to Afghanistan and French soldiers who were visiting the governor's office at the time. Kandahar Police Chief Abdul Razak also said 4 people were injured in a blast at the Bezi Aina Mina Square in the southern city of Kandahar on Wednesday. President Hamid Karzai on Wednesday said Afghan forces would be ready to assume full responsibility for security in the country by 2014. At a regional summit in Kazakhstan, Karzai expressed the hope that after Afghan forces take control of security, the UN mission and the international troops will be withdrawn from the country. Washington is planning to cut military forces deployed to Afghanistan with a full turnover to Kabul of security by 2014. This comes as some US and Afghan officials have questioned whether Afghanistan's army and police will be ready for the job by that time. Elsewhere, the top U.S. military officer is vowing long-term commitment to Afghanistan, touting progress in the war against the Taliban and its Al-Qaeda allies ahead of an American drawdown. Admiral Mike Mullen, the chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff, said in a television interview Tuesday that although some troops would be withdrawn, a continued U.S. presence was assured. U.S. President Barack Obama is expected to decide in the coming weeks whether or how many of the 100,000 U.S. troops to withdraw from Afghanistan, starting next month, the first stage of a drawdown he initially promised in mid-2009 but later de-emphasized. Mullen insisted America would not repeat its past mistakes when the United States essentially turned its back on Afghanistan after CIA-backed insurgents beat out Soviet forces toward the end of the Cold War in 1989. Russia has called for closer relations between Afghanistan and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Russian President Dmitry Medvedev said on Wednesday. The leaders from China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan met in the Kazakh capital Astana to discuss regional stability and security, including the fight against terrorism and drug trafficking. Medvedev at the alliance's 10th Jubilee Summit emphasized that all of the participants of the summit endorse his viewpoint. Afghanistan has filed a request to receive observer status in the alliance. Violence, dismal healthcare and brutal poverty make Afghanistan the world's most dangerous country for women, with Congo a close second due to horrific levels of rape, a Thomson Reuters Foundation expert poll said on Wednesday. Pakistan, India and Somalia ranked 3rd, 4th and 5th respectively in the global survey of perceptions of threats ranging from domestic abuse and economic discrimination to female fiticide, genital mutilation and acid attacks. The poll by Trust Law, a legal news service run by Thomson Reuters Foundation, marked the launch of its new Trust Law Women's section, a global hub of news and information on women's legal rights. Trust Law asked 213 gender experts from 5 continents to rank countries by overall perceptions of danger as well as by 6 risks. The risks were health threats, sexual violence, non-sexual violence, cultural or religious factors, lack of access to resources and trafficking. Pakistan intelligence officials have reportedly arrested alleged informants who gave information to the Central Intelligence Agency before the raid that killed Osama bin Laden, the former Al-Qaeda leader. The New York Times reported on Tuesday that 5 people had been detained, including an army major who officials said copied the license plates of cars visiting bin Laden's compound in the city of Abbottabad weeks before the U.S. operation. The fate of those arrested is unclear, but U.S. officials said that Leon Panetta, the CIA director, raised the issue when he traveled to Islamabad last week to meet with Pakistani military and intelligence officials. U.S.-Pakistani relations have been strained over the raid by Navy SEALs on Pakistani territory, which was seen as a blow to the prestige of the country's military. Pro-democracy fighters have made fresh advances in both the east and the west of Libya, gaining ground against forces loyal to the Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi, reports say. Late on Tuesday, NATO resumed bombing of the Libyan capital, with strikes hitting the east of the city. In the west of the country, the fighters managed to force government troops into retreat from the town of Kikla, about 150 kilometers southwest of Tripoli, on Tuesday, news agencies said. And in the east, they launched more attacks against Gaddafi forces near the oil town of Brega. We are fighting on Monday killed at least 25 fighters and wounded dozens more. And the Syrian security forces are reportedly widening an operation in the north of the country aimed at cracking down on anti-government protests amid reports of defections from the army's ranks. Troops pushed towards the town of Marat al-Noman after detaining hundreds of people in a sweep through villages near Jisr al-Shuhur, reports said on Tuesday, citing residents who fled the area. Refugees have poured across the Syrian border into neighboring Turkey to escape the government's operation. In Jisr al-Shuhur, the site of a military takeover on Sunday, more than 8,000 Syrians have so far crossed the border with Turkey to escape the violence, and an estimated 10,000 more are waiting for the opportunity to cross. And that's all for now. Thanks for staying with us.